What senator doesn't have gold bars in their closet? Democratic Senator Bob Menendez has been indicted on bribery charges. This is the second time he's been indicted on bribery charges. The first time ended in a mistrial. The first indictment and trial scared Menendez straight because he waited several months before he started accepting bribes again, allegedly. This article from the Washington Post said that he was the chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee when all of this corruption and bribery was happening, allegedly. So it's a good thing he didn't have a lot of power. The article does say that he's now stepped down. One of the things Menendez said in response after these indictments were made, he said, "The excesses of these prosecutors is apparent. They have misrepresented the normal work of a congressional office." I think what he's saying is that it is normal for a congressional office to take part in bribery and corruption, which I think of most of us Americans, we know. That's how you guys have all your money. We get it. It says here that there were allegations of a secretive campaign to aid the government in Cairo. Now, Menendez told reporters, he said, "Look at my history with Egypt of denying them aid, of stopping weapons sales, and a whole host of things." But then it says, in reality, prosecutors say he was covertly doing the opposite. Does that not sound just like politicians in general? They say one thing and do another. I'm happy to know he's living up to our expectations of saying one thing and doing another. That's good. The bribes included cash, gold, payments toward a mortgage, and a luxury vehicle. There was over $480,000 in cash. A lot of it stuffed into envelopes hidden in clothing and closets. And they also found some gold bars. Just because the only other people with $500,000 in cash in their closets are Pablo Escobar and Walter White, that doesn't mean that Menendez did anything wrong. I can imagine how this went down. Like, they probably first said, "Hey, we found all this cash and gold." And he's like, "You can't prove that I'm tied to that at all." Then they have here that they have fingerprints of people tying this to you, that tie it to you and the people who you were dealing with. And then he probably said something like, "Yeah, but how do I even know that that was gold? It just could have been, I thought it was fake gold, a paperweight, whatever, I don't know." Then then after that, like, "Oh yeah, really? Well then why did you do a web search for how much is 1 kilo of gold worth?" I guess the only thing he didn't do was, like, they don't have him doing a web search for how much prison time do you get for bribery charges. He didn't do that search. This is something Menendez said back on his first indictment. He said this, "To those who are digging my political grave so they could jump into my seat, I know who you are and I won't forget you." He said that in November of 2017. Now that sounds kind of like a threat, doesn't it? But I mean, come on, I'm sure that nobody's scared. I mean, it's not like he's one of the Clintons. One of the things that Menendez got in exchange for him doing favors for people is he got his girlfriend on the payroll of this company in a low or no show job. So I guess she got a government job then. The Post says that Menendez obtained highly sensitive information from the State Department about the U.S. Embassy staff in Cairo, which ended up getting forwarded to this Egyptian official, according to the indictment. So that's not at all scary. I'm sure they just were trying to find out information so that they could send gift baskets to people over there, right? I thought this was kind of interesting in the Post. It says that his then girlfriend, I guess they had insufficient payments from the people he was dealing with, and she complained about that, and they replied saying, "Nadine, I personally gave Bob a check for September." And then later, Menendez said, "No, you should not text or email." Yeah, why is that? Instead of just saying not text or email, you need to make up some fake alias email addresses and just have a bunch of email accounts with weird names, like Robert Peters or stuff like that. I think that would work better. It does seem like Menendez loved Breaking Bad. Him hiding cash in envelopes and clothing. I swear that is an episode right from Breaking Bad, right? So I hope that the authorities also checked the car wash. I mean, I think you should. I'm sure Menendez has learned his lesson now. He's been indicted twice. So if someone tries to bribe him with cash or gold, I'm sure he's going to refuse them. And he's going to say, "No, we need to do it another way. Like maybe buy some modern art from one of my family members that is the worst art you've ever seen. Or I'll make up a complicated web of 20 shell companies and we can transfer money through those." Or probably the best would be to put my son on the board of a company he knows nothing about and then pay him over $80,000 a month. I mean, those are some really good ideas that hopefully Menendez will do next time. All right, thank you for watching. We'll see you later.